Hi, Gérald.
Hi.
Thanks so much for being with us. Can you tell me in 2 seconds what Sketchtravel is? Okay, maybe 30 seconds.
Okay. Sketchtravel is a collective experience, collective artistic experience. It's all about one sketchbook that we share between artists from about 12 countries all around the world. It's mostly a Japanese artist, American artist, and a European artist. Forgive my French. And we needed about 4 years to lead this project, because it takes time to bring all together those artists.
So when you're saying it's one sketchbook, you mean it's not different artists that sent pages to you, they actually drew on this very sketchbook?
Yes. Actually, this sketchbook is a moving museum. It's not about, like you said, receiving original pieces from all around the world. It's about sharing the same playground, if I could say so, between artists. They really share this sketchbook, and we can see it. I mean, it's been used. It's been quite damaged because it traveled a lot.
There's something incredibly magical about this object, this item. I think, I'm almost a little bit wary of even, touching it and touching the box. And I think there's something, the object itself is incredible, but the concept behind it, the idea that it traveled thousands of miles,
yes.
And that it was delivered from person to person, is something really special.
You talk about magic, and this is one of the big word behind the story, because it was difficult to lead this project, but very stimulating at the same time, because we were with Dice very motivated about the final object. Sometimes I was very tired because it required a lot of energy to take care of the sketchbook, but I was always very happy to see all contribution, not day by day, but each time I was receiving emails from the artist telling me, okay, I'm very interested by sharing this experience, and here is my contribution in it.
Yeah.
And it was very I was very happy about all the meetings, all the relationship between artists that was possible with this project.
You were saying that you were very happy to have the contribution and sometimes tired, and it's a voyage. The adventure of this thing is a voyage that took more than 4 years. Did you feel sometimes like you were on it was almost a mission that you had to keep carrying almost across?
It was a quest. It was really a quest, because at some point it was all about making it possible. Because when we start this project with Dice, it's possible to read it on the blog. We were very naive. We thought we will need only about 1 year, but here we are. I mean, almost 5 years required to bring this to the audience.
Just to make sure that people watching this can understand.
Yeah, sure.
The sketchbook was actually hand delivered between each person.
Yeah. It was very jazzy, if I could say it.
Yeah.
We had to improve a lot, because we had to deal with the artist availability.
Sure.
And because most of them are very busy at studio animation, working on a major movie, and some other are comic artists and very involved in their own comic career. Some other illustration, etc. So sometimes we had to wait for about 3 months, so they could bring their contribution. And sometimes we were very surprised to know that they'll only need about 1 hour or a few days, and each person, each artist get its own rhythm at some point. But and it was very stressful for that, because we didn't know what to expect from each artist. It was a...
Did you ever lose it? Like, you weren't sure where it was, or you didn't hear from someone for a month?
No, we always knew where it was, but we were very informed. Yeah, there's no GPS or anything in it, but we should, because it would be funny.
So, do you know how many miles or kilometers it traveled, or?
We tried to figure it out. I don't think I make mistake by saying that he almost traveled 4 times around the world, because it was not only about being from traveling from Paris to New York, and then to San Francisco, and then to Japan. There was a lot of
back and forth.
Exactly. Yeah, it was because we used the personal traveling, and we didn't want to travel exclusively because of the sketchbook. We were waiting that for some opportunities, interviews, trip, etc.
So it's basically it's the artists themselves that created the.
Exactly.
There's no one behind it. Sorry, I'm interrupting. There's no one behind it that's organizing it aside from you.
Yes, we had to, depending on the artists. Some artists are very involved, and there's never any lack of initiative. Everybody wanted to make sure to bring the significant help to make this possible, but we didn't manage it. We had to deal with availability, with moods, with egos, etc. But we were okay with it. It was part of the experience. No rush.
Shifting to the actual contents of it, we were discussing a little bit earlier, and I was almost expecting, since you were saying there were 12 nationalities involved, I was almost expecting to see in the drawings some cultural influence from the different countries. But you were telling me it's not really what happened.
Yeah, and it's funny to see that if you don't communicate about the fact that this sketchbook traveled, you won't see any background or landscape from the cities where he went, and it's more about exploring the imagination of the artist, which can be at some point very more interesting, and because there is no limit to imagination, and it's not boring to explore this. And the funny thing is, we didn't expect that from the artist. We didn't ask them to design or to draw their environment, and because there was no theme, and it was very free, because with dice we were saying to each other that there's enough constraint in each field. So we wanted to make sure that each artist get the maximum of freedom of expression. This is why you get nightmare and dreams, living in the same sketchbook.
So, as we're seeing, everyone, they handed it, as we were saying, they handed it by hand. Did the people stay in touch? Were there some people that met each other and that became friends, or did it?
Sure. There's a lot of relation, and a lot of them knew each other first, mostly the artists working in the animation field, and we see, Claude William, for example, at this moment, because we start the project with him. He was the third to participate. And the funny thing is, he became an animator at Blue Sky Studio a few years later. So it's not saying that he was part of Blue Sky thanks to this connection or Sketchtravel, but it's funny to see that this is a very small world in this community. It's easy to get in touch with all artists by just following their blogs and website, and making connection is not that hard.
Was there one thing that surprised you a lot during these 4 years about the way things went?
I got so many stories about it that I will need about 3 days, but
Okay.
each not pretending, but each artist came with his personality, with his taste, there's so many. I'm overwhelmed by so many stories I could report behind, and but it was always very good surprise. I've never been shocked or badly surprised by what was happening to this sketchbook. Maybe one story about the James Jean contribution, because it was the first to explore some very dark side, and I received this contribution by email, because each artist was scanning just so we can get an idea of what's going on with the sketchbook.
Sure.
And I received this contribution a few days before Christmas, and if you see the contribution made by James Jean, this is not the kind of picture that you use for a Christmas card. But it was funny. I mean, it was funny. And when I asked him what's going in his mind, was he okay or not? Because he really drew kind of very dark nightmare. No, I was okay. Well, I just wanted to make a difference comparing to the other contribution, because it was very happy land, etc. And it was all about expressing his art.
Now the book exists, and this is the end of the voyage for the item itself, but you have projects beyond this. I mean, with Sketchtravel, it's going to become something more. You're going to be editing it, and can you tell us a little bit about
sure.
that?
We are currently in the editorial process, which is very demanding, because there's many things to green light. The design of the book, and we are going to, I don't know the word exactly for facsimile, a copy.
A copy, I guess.
A copy,
yeah.
And
so what you mean? There's going to be the deluxe edition, which is going to be this, and then you're going to have the regular edition, which is
exactly the regular one, including pictures of the handoff and story behind, and biography about the artist, and even quotes. And some writing by some of the artists, because they wanted to express their feeling about this experience. And I think it's good to get both, because fans who follow this adventure since the beginning, they probably want to get the same sketchbook at home.
Of course.
And to experiment the real thing. The real thing. But many readers are going to discover the story behind, linked to this unique experience, because it's I think it's at some point it's part of the experience to tell about it, if you know what I mean. This is the inside story, because if you just read the contributions, if you just explore their imagination, this is reducing the concept, because it's more about sharing. When many people ask me, what is your preference in this book, and I don't see this book as an element of contribution, but every contribution is linked to the previous one.
Sure.
And it's you have to imagine it like a global object. And
it's really the concept of it which makes it what it is, the whole thing behind it.
Yeah.
And so you were telling me all the proceeds of the sales were going to go to charities?
Yeah. We are currently we are going to launch the voting system next week. Unfortunately, I think that the whole planet is very stressful about the situation in Japan, and obviously there is a lot of artists coming from Japan, and Japanese artists in this sketchbook, and it's going to be very, very difficult to make the most appropriate choice for the charity. We tried to make it global. And there is a lot of emotion about this, what's happening currently in Japan.
Sure.
And how to say that in a quatre conscience?
It's a difficult situation.
Yeah,
I guess.
difficult. Yeah. It's but we will keep you posted about the final choice. Since I have to say that this is the vote is done for each artist. It's very democratic. We don't shoot for them.
The artists are going to decide which can.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. This is a vote, and
I see.
there will be a choice.
Okay, so we're nearing the conclusion. What's left for you to do in the whole project beyond the
obtaining getting the contract by each artist.
that must be a lot of work.
Yeah, that means the authorization for the use of their picture.
Sure.
And I have to say that this is very cool to know that if there is a country in the world where the copyright are the most variable, and this is in France, because in terms of respecting the artist's integrity, legally speaking, the France is at the top, and I hope
France.
that the artists are going to confirm that. But I wanted I wanted to make sure that it's first everything for artists and respecting their heart and their work and integrity.
So talking about this, what's going to happen with the actual sketchbook?
We are going to sell it at auction at bid next November. We are currently dealing with the most appropriate auctioneer. It will be probably in France, in Paris, or at least in Europe. And the book, a copy of the book will be available next October, bookstore worldwide. In the following days, there will be the London Book Fair, and this is where where the publisher is going to deal with a partner to make sure that the book will be available worldwide.
So where can people go if they want to learn a little bit more? What's the name of the website?
It's very simple. It's sketchtravel.com. I guess that we are going to put that on the screen or something. Right. And we've got the Facebook, we've got the Twitter. We are very, we use all web we got, all the internet tools, and to spread the word about this project. And we hope that everybody is going to like the result of this experience.
Well, I'm certainly, I feel very privileged to be in the presence of this. So thanks so much for coming today.
You're welcome.
And talk to you soon.
Okay, see you. Thanks.